Welcome back to the Valenti Vod. Sorry I crashed out there in that last video for a second. Valid crash out if I've ever had one. But it looks like RFK is putting together a list of everybody who's autistic in this nation by illegally accessing your private health records. Again, I know, it sounds dystopian, sounds fear-mongery. It's also the fucking truth. Before we dive into this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps me a lot. This is so fucked, bro. The NIH. Now, here's the thing. I'm not against research. Doing more research into autism is great. But there's volunteer programs for this. People need to volunteer to give their information up, to be part of experiments, to be studied. That is how research is done. You don't access our private fucking medical records and put together a list. Brother, this is what the Nazis did before they had their legal euthanasia program. Euthanasia program, the Acton T4 program, where they started to euthanize all of the autistic children and all of the children with disabilities. I'm not saying that they're doing that, but this is the first step. You make a list. You check it twice. You figure out who's autistic and who's not nice. That was fucked up. The National Institute of Health will begin collecting Americans' private health records as part of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy's controversial plan to discover a cause and a cure for autism. Yeah, the cause of autism, I genuinely believe is red 40. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally fucking kidding. And the cure for autism is being smothered by your girlfriend's muff. Anyway, Jesus Christ, Chris. The NIH, Jesus Christ. NIH Director Jay Bhattacharya told a panel of experts about the plan this week. The NIH plans to gather information from a wide range of private sources, including pharmacy chains, hospitals, and wearable devices with health sensors like smartwatches. Brother, they're gonna know I'm autistic because I wear an Apple Watch? Brother. The idea of the platform is that the existing data resources are often fragmented and difficult to obtain. The NIH itself will often pay multiple times for the same data resource, Bhattacharya told the panel, according to The Guardian. Even data resources that are within the federal government are too difficult to obtain. Sorry, little burp there. The NIH did not return a request for comment. Kennedy has made autism research a central pillar of his role as America's official health advocate. He has made a number of conspiratorial, anti-science claims, including that childhood vaccinations could cause autism, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Earlier this month, he called autism an epidemic and vowed to find an environmental toxin responsible for the disorder by September. Overall, autism is increasing in prevalence at an alarming rate, Kennedy told reporters at the time. We're going to get back to it with an answer to the American people very, very quickly. He further described autism as a preventable disease. So this is because RFK is a psychopathic fucking moron, an anti-science, doesn't believe in germ theory, anti-vax fucking idiot, and anybody who still supports him is also one of those. And he genuinely believes, despite the fact that it has been disproven by every single scientist on planet Earth, he believes that autism is caused by vaccines. Now, this is because there are tens of millions of people who believe that correlation equals causation. It does not. And we saw this when Jubilee had, 20 brain-dead idiots against an actual doctor. And the brain-dead idiots said themselves that there is nothing that you can say to me that will make me believe that vaccines don't cause autism. That's what they said. And this is because the American education system has failed miserably. And there's really nothing that you and I can fucking do about it. While the Center for Disease Control and Prevention did report that autism prevalence in the United States has increased from 1 in 36 children 5 years ago to 1 in 31 children in 2022, experts say this is largely due to more comprehensive screening across a broader population. Yeah, no shit. There's also more autistic people now than there were in the 1400s. Want to know why? Because they didn't know what the fuck that was. Yeah, there were 100% autistic people during the 1400s, but they didn't have the word. They called him a little doofy. That's what they said. They said, oh, he's a little doofy. They didn't have the word. They didn't have the screening, jackass. The fact that anybody has to explain this is so fucked. We may have hundreds, if not thousands, of different neurogenetic factors that, in combination with complicated environmental interactions, influence presentations of autism. Zachary Warren, a pediatric psychiatrist and autism researcher at Vanderbilt University, told NPR at the time of Kennedy's remarks. Bhattacharya, the NIH director, also has a controversial background in the medical community, questioning early on the lethality of COVID-19 and being a vocal opponent to lockdown mandates. This week, he reportedly backed away from the September deadline, telling reporters that a year is more likely. Well, dude, that's because this isn't how science works. You can't give a deadline for an experiment. You can't say, we're going to find the cure by September. Then the cure, whatever you're going to find, is not going to be effective. And also, we all know what you're going to say when RFK says he's going to discover the cause of autism. We all know what it's going to be. He's going to say vaccines. He's not going to provide any evidence for it, but that's what he's going to say. I would like to have the timeline within a year where they start to put out the preliminary results or the results. We'll see. It's hard to predict how long scientists, nature has its say in how long the results take. Okay, so at least this guy fucking understands how an experiment is, or how an experiment goes, unlike RFK. And this all comes after RFK gave that fucking bonkers speech where he said, autistic kids, they can't use the toilet. Autistic children, they can't wipe their own ass. They'll never write a poem. They can't use a pencil. And what? And autistic people across the fucking nation started making videos going like, hey, buddy, I'm wiping my ass. Like, what? He even said, he said, autistic children, they'll never pay taxes. That's a lie. That's just a lie. I don't even, if you need me to prove that to you, you're an idiot. Of course autistic people pay taxes. Are you fucking stupid? You think the American government would ever give anyone a break from taxes? There's only two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Okay? That's it. But anyway, if you want to read the rest of this article, you can go to npr.org. You can read it yourself. We're going to move on to the next topic, which is going to be short and quick. We're going to cover it in this video. You know what? Fuck it. Looks like, and this is going to be short and quick. India closes the main border crossing with Pakistan after a Kashmir attack. If you don't know, Kashmir is this area in between India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan are constantly threatening to nuke each other. 26 people were killed by gunmen in an attack in the Indian-administered Kashmir. India announced measures targeting Pakistan. So India blames Pakistan for 26 tourists who were killed by gunmen in Kashmir. And the thing is, this is not new. India and Kashmir are constantly fucking fighting each other. Granted, this is the first time in a while that a whole bunch of tourists have been killed. The only reason I'm covering this is because these two nations have nuclear weapons and they always threaten to nuke each other. And then also, new pope, maybe Filipino, depending on if they choose him. This guy's name is Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Tagle? I don't fucking know. Archbishop of Manila. I like the guy. He's got a nice smile. Pretty cool. They've been doing pretty good with the popes recently. The popes have been pretty fucking woke, which I really like. And I guarantee you the racists are going to lose their shit over having a fucking Filipino pope, which I'll always laugh at. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. We're still live. We're going to keep the live going for a little bit, but that's all the content I've got for you this day. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. Helps me immensely. This is real independent media. I've got no funding. Never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a foreign government. So if you do want to help fund this channel, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could become a patron on Patreon for $5. Thank you to all my patrons. You could become a member on YouTube for $5. Thank you to all my members. You could buy some of this dope-ass Valenti Videos merch down below, and you could use that 40% off discount for the Vantage subscription on Ground News down below. No, that is not an ad read. That's an affiliate link. Anyway, thank you very much. Make sure to click that video on the link. If you are here in the video on screen, if you are here in the chat, the live stream, you stay. We're going to keep going. Bye.